and the little way that I can for the next person. But a next person comes in is not necessarily the case, because everybody can please himself. Now, as to the limitations of how, if we come in the sense of the ultimate God, and wherever things that we've got surround us, we have the living proof that we've got enough around our lives. Enough for the situation we are in. The fear is that we are growing in such an alarming proportion that it is feared we might go way over. But let us be realistic. The human generation, in my layman's even interpretation and even knowledge of seeing what is going on, and I don't know how people get convinced about the other thing of overpopulation and all that. We've been growing gradually more and than reducing. Fine. But at the end of the day, it matches up. There is a huge vast of land for everybody to fill in there. Let's put religion aside here. Let's look at it straightforward. Just straightforward from the practical observation. People die and people get born into the world. Maybe statistically they've been checking to see the amount of birth rate and the amount of death rate. And when it becomes imbalance, then some lives will be taken. Somehow, I don't know, we see people taking guns and killing for no apparent reason. We see means devised by others to sort of take lives of others to whatever gain that they want to gain from. But if that wasn't the case, people die actually. I know there's an alarming rate of death, and there is an alarming rate of childbirth. But how much does a woman give? How long does a woman give birth? It takes 9 months for a child to be born. Today they are trying to devise means to incubate and clone people, which has been stopped. There's a debate going on. Eventually, probably they will accept where people will be cloned. Now, if we are fearing of population growth, why do we want to clone people? I mean, all these things one day might come up. The secret behind all these things, whether the rulers have something hidden or not, I don't know. But if there is an issue, because 9 months it takes for one to be born, and how long does it take for people to die? Death, in our sense, does not have that strict bordered guideline like birth. To give birth is definitely the child has to be conceived for 9 months. So they are not just coming, boom, boom, boom. No way. And that baby, 9 months, that woman has to wait for a little while before he gives birth again. If instantly he gives birth to twins or triple, okay, but it doesn't happen that much. But let's move to the side of let's go to those who are the birth rate who check these things, and let's move to the side of death. Children die, even when it comes to the sperm or the eggs that are developing in the womb of a woman. Many of the sperm is being terminated. Only one or a single one will generate to a baby. So out of the many that is being exterminated during the process of procreation, the babies that are being born, even we have lot of lost in there. And in the process of growing, these children growing, some even die along the way. And even when you grow to a certain age, death takes place. So death is in an alarming proportion that we are being reduced in the process of growing. So the process of population growth is in a vast time range difference. It's even striving. It's a striving process. It is not a process that takes place in a second. It's a striving process that we should not even tamper with it. We shouldn't even think of overpopulation. I don't know why at this stage we do. Because there is much more extermination of human life ended than population growth. But most of the time it's coming from the greedy mouth. That person who feels that he's got 10 cars, 20 cars. He's probably got 15 cars. He probably got 3 cars. 10 houses. He's got 20 children. He's got maybe 10 children. Has no child at all. But he wants greedily will have the sort of vacation that is beyond his widest dream. Whatever widest dream means, I don't know. He wants to eat food that he cannot consume all, just to make the table that is before him colorful and beautiful. All things on the table, and he virtually, feel vomiting when he sees food, because he's got it right there. He doesn't even have the appetite to eat the food. Yes, still, he just want to see it colorful, while thousands of people suffer. What is the rationale behind these things, that we tolerate these things so much? We tolerate their voice. We tolerate their ideas that condemns the good human progress, or anything that is good or progressive. And this is what I want you to consider. It's just the gist of it. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying here is, those are some of the friendly trap. The suggestions that are coming from a background that may look so beautiful and has got influences and has got power, because it has got that solid background of financial, backing or influence of whatever kind, and that sort of backing is sort of telling you and I that, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what is happening to the world. Maybe he might be very educated, that his views, that his views may be so much sorry sort of his views may be very much considered, just only because there's a lot of benefit, or there's a lot that he might do or can do to improve your life. But instead of voluntarily doing it, he uses that power that he has got to his benefit by just suggesting things that are rubbish, but knows that you will have to follow through. And only to follow through for you to feed him more and make him more, comfortable in whatever he stage. And some are aware of it, some are not. Most of the time, people are using this regard and never really know that this is the idea behind it. But as I said, this is what some of the unfriendly traps that comes in. It may be somebody close, somebody you might know. It may be not. It may be somebody distance away. But it is always in a persuasive and deceptive way, coming to you in a humble way, that you wouldn't even have the strength in you to sort of put off, or let's say turn away, or say no, I don't want to know, or I just by rejecting or somehow looking elsewhere. That normally can be the case. We have people who go out there sending the gospel, or let's say maybe Islam message, or let's say Buddhist message. They don't come to anybody rushing their way through. Why would they do that? They have to come there in a peaceful and a calm approach. Yes, believe it or not, it's the same people who sit in the offices and make decisions. They may be very influential in a sense of very educative and has got a place in life. But as they tend to pursue the religious side of things, they have to take off another form. More or less, they are more chameleonized nature. They change their form and have to approach you in a very nice manner, in a very humble manner. Any means possible to get your attention,